Morning, folks. Welcome to the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. Cassandra Terry, the mindset coach and founder of Manifesting Miracle Makers, rounded up her LinkedIn family once again. First, we've got Brian Smart, Mr. Content and Dadpreneur. He's striking the perfect balance between raising his youngest daughter and creating masterful content. Next, meet Denise Annalise Spiller, the gig expert and relentless traveler and writer. She turns every gig into an adventure. Then there's Jay Pasquale, the storytelling strategist, a poet and voiceover artist. He's weaving tales that'll make you think, laugh, and maybe even change your perspective. Get ready for a show filled with wisdom, inspiration, and the magic of family. Let's welcome Cassandra Terry and the rest of the fam.
Hello. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. Whether you realize it or not, guys, it's hump day. We are already hitting the middle of the week. This week is going by rapidly like they all seem to do, and we're right smack in the middle of March. The first quarter is almost behind us. So it's a great time for us to talk about being intentional, the importance of being intentional. We can, if we choose, take a little bit of a look back to see if the things that we've been planning or that we planned at the end of the year, if we are on track or not. That's what the look back is for. Help you to assess if you're on course and to help you to remember just how awesome you are. Remember the things that you've already overcome to help you fuel your energy and your excitement and your determination to keep moving forward. If you're doing anything else back there besides those two things, come on back. Join us back here in the present. We don't want to go back hemming and hawing about what was because we can't unspill the milk. If it's spilt, all we can do is clean it up, right? Clean up the mess, pour us a nice fresh glass, sit back and enjoy that one. Worrying about the one that is spilled is just wasting time, energy, and effort. So when you look back now and realize that it's almost time to assess the first quarter and plan where you're going in the next, or how are you doing? Ask yourself, what did I intend to do with the first quarter of 2024? Am I one of those people who made some resolutions, some promises to myself? Did I set some goals of things that I wanted to accomplish in the first quarter to help me meet my bigger goal at the end of the year? If the answer is no to that, you still have time to do that as well, because there's nothing like goals to give you the focus and the intention that you need to get things accomplished. But we're getting close to that look back time. And how did January go? How did February go? How has March wrapped up that first quarter? And has it set you up for the second quarter that you desire? Those are fair questions. We want to assess ourselves. We want to have conversations with ourselves on a regular basis, not to get overwhelmed, not to get frustrated, but simply to get the facts. What are the facts of how the first quarter of the year has unfolded against the plans that you had for yourself? Did you live this part of 2024 with intention? You can be honest with yourself. You can have that conversation. And if some of the answers are not what you desired, celebrate the fact that you've realized it so that you can make the adjustments that you need to get on track and to accomplish the things that you'd like to set for yourself. So let me share today's quote from Carl Jung. It is, "You are what you do, not what you say you'll do." That one feels a little harsh. Jay joked as soon as I put it out there. He says, I'm feeling a little judged right now. That's okay. As long as you know the judgment is internal. I don't mean it that way at all, but I do want us to think. What did we plan for ourselves and how are we going about implementing those plans? So the room for today is implement your intentions, right? It's great to have them. We need them. They help us to stay on course or to even know what the course is. But we have to put the actions behind them and actually implement things. Otherwise, my husband's joining us. I like it when he comes in here because I get to say I have a studio guest. I have a studio guest this morning coming in from all the way from the bedroom to the office, Mr. Timothy Lee Terry himself. I'm practicing y'all for the day when I actually have a studio. So my first studio guest is with me live, and of course we have our audience. Oh my goodness, y'all! One of my dear friends just said good morning, Vanessa Williams, somebody that I don't see nearly enough, but I love with all my heart, and I am so thrilled that you are with us. So sending you love and light, sis, and I can't wait to have a chance to talk to you. And I'm watching that baby girl grow up. Oh my goodness. That legacy that your family has, you got some good genes because that baby, all those grandbabies are beautiful. But she has a daughter. Vanessa's daughter grew up with my daughter. They did all the sports together. They were the ultimate jocks. They were the jocks who also had the high GPAs. So they led in the classroom and they led on the court or the track or whatever sport it was. They did all the sports, volleyball, basketball, track, and they excelled. And they are both in the medical field. My doctor's a physical therapist. Her doctor is a MA, and they took what me and Vanessa and the other their dads, their grandparents, all the people in their lives, they took that and they just ran with it, and they showed us that we didn't waste a moment on those kids, not a moment, not a dime, not a tear, because they are just wonderful young women. They've built beautiful families and they make us proud every day. And after all this time, they're still buds. They're still really, really good friends. They've done life together, which has allowed me and Vanessa to get to know each other and do life together as well. So I'm excited. I've never seen her in the room before. I always send it and she tells me that she watches, but I never know if it's live or if she sees it later or what. So excuse me for babbling, but my heart is full today. Just knowing that I got Vanessa here and I got the hubby on the couch. So there you go. It's already Thankful Thursday for me. I've got a lot to be thankful for. Hello, Dr. Marcia. It's great to see you with us. Conchita, who's always there and cheering us on, said wonderful Wednesday to everyone. Grateful for another amazing day. And Barbara said that's beautiful. It is so good to see you again, Barbara. I've seen comments from you here and there, but this is the first time I've seen you in, I was going to say in living color, but at least in 3D or virtual. I'm seeing you today as well. So it is a great Wednesday. Lots of fabulous people. And you know what? As I was going, I don't know if it was when I was going to sleep or if I was waking up, but I remember thinking that it was going to be a full room. It was going to be a full room today. And look at the people who I don't typically see showing up. So I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. And I'm so grateful. So back to our quote. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. That does feel a little bit of a slap in the face, right? It's like, whoa, she's coming a little tough this morning, but tough love is still love, right? And we have to move from being intentional. We have to move from having plans to getting up off our duff and actually doing something. Even if we don't get it right, if we don't get it just right, by the mere fact that we are getting in the game, we're picking up the bat, we're running our race, however you need to visualize it. Just by the mere fact that you're starting to put some energy behind the things that you desire changes everything. You may only take that first step. That may be the only step that you know to take. But in doing so, the next step will open up for you. You will start to see your path. Things will start to align for you. The right people who can support you will start to show up. You will be better for it. That's why we say progress over perfection. And sometimes we forget that, especially as high functioning people. A lot of times it's that's a the females have a tendency to be perfectionists, but it could be anybody. If you find yourself waiting for that perfect moment, waiting for the right audience to show up, waiting for the right number of people to, I remember being in that space. I was so afraid the first day that I started to go live. I had all these thoughts going on in my head. What if nobody shows up? What if I run out of things to say? That's a funny one, right? I have to stop myself from talking. What if I stumble? What if something wrong goes on in the room? Just a couple seconds ago, y'all saw me look this way because y'all know I'm getting up in age, and so these hot flashes get real sometimes. And I had to turn the fan on, and for whatever reason today, it decided to blow a couple of my pictures down. The world didn't stop spinning. The show moved on. I don't even know if you guys heard it. It grabbed my attention for just a second. No big deal. I remember one day where I did get really lost in my thoughts early on when I used to do the show all by myself. And I was thinking and I was mid sentence and I felt myself go blank. And you know what I did? I said to the camera, man, I just went blank. I just kind of lost my train of thought. It happens sometimes, doesn't it? And it just became a part of the conversation. It didn't stop anything. It didn't bother the people on the other end. It didn't bother me. I just incorporated it into what's happening because part of what I like to do is be transparent, right? If I show up and everything's perfect all the time and that's what I tell you guys, just do what I do and life would be great, how long would you listen? Like I don't know what she's eating, but she's not thinking well, right? Because no one has it perfect all the time. But when we show up on social media, we have these sound bites, we have these backgrounds, we have a little bit of time to spruce up before we start the day. And if we're not careful, we can show up and make believe that everything's perfect all the time. Nope. The pictures fall. I stumble on my words. Technology gets in the way, but I'm doing it. I'm showing up every day. I'm preparing the night before, right? Things are evolving over time. The background looks different. The way my name is at the top of the screen wasn't there. We have intro music, we have outro music. I have a group of people around me now. None of those things were in place when I started, right? And if I had waited for all of those things, I would have lost about a year of learning, a year of gathering information, a year of building up relationship with all of you guys. I would hate to be at day one now. Now, if it is your day one, don't compare it to my day, whatever this is for me. I've been at this for about a year. And man, it was rough in the beginning because what was going on in here was standing between me and what it was I really wanted to do. And I said, all I want to do is just get out, put information out there about how I've overcome some things, some of the things that I've struggled with, and show somebody who's struggling that there's life on the other side. That you may be having a difficult time right now, but you're not alone and it's not permanent. You'll get through the other side if you keep moving. Don't get stuck there. The last place we want to get stuck is in a difficult spot. We keep moving. We move through our trials. We move through our difficulties and we gain strength and information about ourselves that we didn't have before. And then we're in a position to reach out to somebody else who's struggling and say, I understand. I may not have experienced it exactly the way you did because we're all different, but I do understand what it means to struggle. And I know sometimes you feel like you can't get up. I know sometimes you feel so overwhelmed. I know sometimes you need to cry. Those things are all okay because we're human. But I just want to stand as a witness to tell you that this too shall pass, that the sun will come out tomorrow. And he sung that long time ago for a reason, because the sun does come out tomorrow, even in our darkest days. It's sometimes after those dark days that we notice the brightness of the sun. We notice how colorful our lives are around us. We hear the birds sing, things that we took for granted. We may not take for granted after a struggle, right? So even in our struggles, there's a gift in it. We're getting stronger. We're learning something. We're being prepared for something. But we have to get in the game. It's not enough to plan. Those are dreams, those are hopes, those are wishes, and they're great because they can energize us, they can get us excited, but nothing changes until something changes. What are you going to do different today that you wasn't willing to do yesterday to have the life that you say you desire? To get that job, to build that house, to uplift your health, whatever the situation is that you're working on, you have to ask yourself, what am I going to do differently today? And then you ask yourself the same thing tomorrow. What am I willing to do? Yes, I dream about it. I have all these things that I dream of, but which one of them is enough of a desire, aligned with my values, important enough to me that I'll take the action to actually do something about it? You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Dream versus implementation. When you start to do, it doesn't all magically happen in the moment typically, but in the doing, you start to move yourself forward towards the life that you desire. If you pick today and you said committed to today, every day from this day forward, I'm going to do one thing towards that goal, towards that thing that I really desire. In a month, 30 things have compounded and moved you closer to that goal. At the end of the quarter, 90 actions have been taken that are going to move you towards what it is that you desire. End of the year, 365 steps taken in the direction of the thing that you say you want. That's magical. There's no way you're going to do something every day towards your goal and not move closer to it and eventually accomplish it. It's step by step, bite by bite, choice by choice, decision by decision. It's those little things that stack on top of one another to create the big thing that's going to get you what it is that you're after. Don't the big thing will take care of itself if you take care of the little things. Make the right decisions. Choose the activities that are going to move you forward. Choose to separate yourself from the things that will hold you back. I'll remind you guys of the 4 P's. I think most of you that are here have heard me talk about it before. That was one of my divine downloads. I was almost waking up from a good night's sleep, and I don't know what the dream was anymore, but something was happening in my subconscious. I was dreaming about something, and I had the thought, oh, sometimes you do have to lose something to gain something greater. And in that moment, I was like, like when I prune in my garden, I'm literally subconsciously having a conversation. It's like my garden. Every year, you have to get rid of the old stuff to prepare the soil to receive the new stuff. And immediately, all these P's started to come to me. The first one was prune. And we're no different than that garden. We need to assess ourselves. What are the habits? What are the limiting beliefs? What are the environmental things? Am I spending my time with people who uplift me and move me forward? Or am I spending my time with people who keep me seeped in those old behaviors? They only see me as the way I was, and they're comfortable with that. So they really don't want me to change. So they're the ones that say, oh, girl, that's okay. I know you're trying to lose weight, but here, I brought you your Dr. Pepper because it's your favorite thing. They mean well, but it's not what you need, right? So you have to get rid of the things that hold you back. So that's the pruning stage. And it's uncomfortable because you feel like you're losing in that moment. Things are being taken away from you. And then you go to the prepare stage. That's where now that you've pruned, you have the space to refill your life with the things that are going to move you forward. Do I need a course so that I have the skills that I need? Right? Do I need to surround myself with different people? Who's my real support system? How much time am I spending with them? Do I need to meditate? Do I need to spend more time in prayer? What do I need to do? What are the actions that I need to take to prepare myself for the life that I desire? And so you fill up that empty space of the things that's been pruned away with the things that are going to help you accomplish your goals. And then we come into a very difficult space. And that's when we get paced. because I'm like, hey, I got rid of the bad stuff. I stopped doing that bad thing. I've been working really hard and going to the gym, right? I gave up the fast food. I'm going to the gym, but I still weigh the same. But do you feel better? Do you have more energy? Are things starting to happen even though the scale's not moving yet? You can ask yourself those questions because there's things are changing. They may not just be as apparent as you would like for them to be. You're being paced. The weight will come, the tighter muscles will come, but you're going to have to continue to do those new behaviors and integrate them into your life. You can't, it's not a quick fix. I have to remind myself of that all the time. It's not a quick fix. As much as I want it to be, whatever it is, I'm being paced. I told Brian a while back that I was being paced in the business. I feel at the cusp, like I'm standing right on the ledge of the breakthrough and of this thing really blowing up and being what it could be in one arena or another. But do I have the infrastructure to support a bunch of clients coming in right now? Do I have all of my financials in a row, the good accountant to make sure that things are taken care of right so I don't win just to lose? The infrastructure. Do I have it planned out well enough that if I get busy with the clients, I don't completely turn my back on family and career and other things that I have going on? Do I have the right infrastructure to support a quick boom in business? And I had to be honest with myself and say, not yet. I can do so many clients a week and still maintain the rest of my life. I can only go travel so much and still maintain the rest of my life. And so you have to be honest with yourself during that pace period and realize that it's for your good. As things dial back in other areas of your life, you're able to dial up in the space where you'd like. That's for me, right? As the kids have gotten older, the youngest one is 20 now. So I don't have the thing. Vanessa and I, we can't even tell you how many miles we put on our cars, going to games and picking up kids and all the parenting things that we did supporting their dreams, right? Now we have the luxury of watching the grandkids do their thing. Mine are a lot older than hers, but mine are already in sports and stuff. So now I get to go see them. But I don't have to take them to practice. I don't have to make sure that they've got all the things that they need. Their parents do that. I get to just show up as granny and spectate and enjoy and love on them afterwards. It's a different phase of life, which is why I couldn't have done nearly as much of this a few years ago as I can now, right? But there are things that I need to make sure that are in place during this pace period so that when that breakthrough comes, when Oprah calls, she gonna call. When the conference calls and say we want you to be a keynote speaker, all of the fumbling and bumbling and technical issues and evolution of this show, it's none of it's for nothing. It's all preparing me for the next. And we should believe that. We should understand that about whatever it is that we're going through. If I give it my all, if I show up authentically, intentionally, and do the work, the next is just a matter of time. I don't know what it is. I joke. I don't know what it is, but I know it's coming. I can feel it. I literally can feel it. I dream about it, just like I did this morning. I was like, oh, we're going to have a nice full room today. The regulars are here, and so are folks that I'm seeing for the first time. Amazing. I love it. Our intentions start here. Set your intentions mentally. I've got some intentions of what I'm doing after this today. There's some things that I need to get accomplished. And in accomplishing those things today, my tomorrow is going to run smoother. I can skip those things and lose focus, not be intentional about how I'm spending my time. And then I've got to make up for that. And it makes for unnecessary stress and for difficult days. Be intentional. Know what you're going to do with your time, plan it out, and then do it. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Jay, since this quote just grabbed you so much from the time it hit, what's on your mind today? What would you like to share with us?
Stop calling me out.
I love you.
Oh man. And so I'll go straight to it. You know, we've been talking about your book and how I was talking about my book first, in my mind
Mm.
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I said it was going to get it done. I said it was going to come out. I said February 29th was going to be the absolute stop dead day.
Mm-hmm.
and um and all I kept hearing when you were talking about the 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 things falling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um was the song from Macy Gray. I try to walk away and I stumble. Um, and so that's what I was thinking about is like, you know, why am I walking away in the first place? I need to be walking
Mm-hmm.
towards getting this done. I need to be
Mm-hmm.
getting from the to-do list to the to done list, like you say
There you
all the
go.
time. And and I was really pacing in such a way that I had everything else outpace me.
Mm.
And so that that's the realization. And so there you were with your book. And here you are with your book. And your book is going to come out on the 25th.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, did I get called out. um, this is you embodying exactly what you were meant to do, Cassandra.
Thank you.
You are the example, and in my mind, it's that it's that fam collective love tap to the throat.
Mm-hmm.
you know, the I heard your voice for a second say, "Stop talking about it and start being about it,"
Mm-hmm.
because that was the example you were setting. So, yeah, this quote grabbed me, all right. And so I was like, man, um, and I was so happy when I went to chapter 7 and just wailed on my keyboard to get it out.
Yeah.
And as soon as I did, everybody in the listening audience hear this. I sent it to Cassandra.
It's so good, y'all. It's so good. Y'all a treat. I'm not sure what his planned published date is, but when it comes out, it is so good. I was so excited. I'm so proud of you, brother. Just keep on keeping on.
Right. But I gotta start, you know. That's the thing. I gotta start.
You
And
already did. You
I
already
did.
did. Let's fix the language.
Right.
You detoured.
I
But
did.
as long as you have a goal, guys, when we know where we're going, when we point A is where we are, point B is where we would like to get to. As long as you know what point B is, even if you veer off for a moment, you can get back on course and still make it. Instead of it being linear and a straight line, that's rare, right? Life doesn't typically happen that way. We have detours. Life lifes, right? And throws things at us and we have to adjust. But as long as you keep the destination in mind, you will get there in your perfect timing. There was something in between those chapters, Jay, that God wanted you to do, wanted you to see, wanted to prune away. Only you know what's been going on, but there was something that was going on. And that something is going to show up in the pages of that book and make it even more prolific than it originally would have been. So we're not going to bemoan the experience because it's all working for your good. It all will show up in those pages and you will be better for it. We can't hindsight is 2020. We can't see always what's happening in the moment. Then you look back and you're like, "Oh, I was so upset in that period. Now I see what that was all about." We don't have the luxury of hindsight right now. That's why faith is so important.
Mm,
You just faith your way through it, knowing that it's all going to work out for your good. And everything that you're experiencing is going to make what's coming that much better. So you don't have to start. You've already started. You may need to get back on the course because you veered off, you've worked around some obstacles, but you still have the destination in sight. And as long as you have that, you have the ability to get there step by step, choice by choice, day by day. You'll get there.
right. And it's gonna happen with intentionality. And
Yes,
that's exactly the thought behind today's quote. It's the thought behind what's happening with the book that you've come out with, because this is the example that you set, and it's you living in your purpose. And this is the power of alignment when it comes to community and the collective. So I really appreciate all of that.
I'm glad
Before I
you
get
said that part because you keep referencing my book, but I didn't do it by myself. You know, I've had lots of people reading with me along the way, giving me comments. I've had people encouraging me. The beautiful cover that you see, the background, Brian did that. He was the one who went, this is good, but it's not personal enough. People follow you because they like to hear about you and how you've gotten through these things, not just the concepts of the thing. So I thought I was done. And then he made it hard because I said it yesterday. It's easy for me to write, to talk about my life. It's a little bit harder to write it. There's some in your face about some of the things that I've been through that show up in a different way when I write it. So it made it
mm,
hard. But that was the
mm,
counsel that I got from him when he read it. He's like, this is good. This is good stuff, but you got to put more of you in. So write back to the keyboard. It's a part of the process. The things that you've experienced are going to send you back to the keyboard and enhance your process, right? People are still reading it because it doesn't come out until the 25th. So I'm still receiving feedback and making little tweaks and adjustments along the way. So it's great. It is absolutely okay to have that. And the community is so important. Can't do it by yourself. There have been many nights where I've gotten inspired, and when I should be in bed or me and my husband planned to work out or something, I had that moment of creativity where I had to get on the keyboard and click and I couldn't help myself. And he's been around me enough and supports me enough to go, all right, I better leave her alone. She in that zone.
mm.
She said she was gonna do this. But she's not doing it. She's not following the quote. She's not doing what she said she was going to do. But that's a part of the creative process. When it hits, you have to go with it. You have to go with it. You create that space of intentionality of I'm going to write every day for an hour, or I'm going to write in this space at this time, whatever the case may be. But sometimes that inspiration just hits and it takes you over, and magic comes out of those moments. So you go with them if you can. So you
Yeah,
guys have been a huge part of
oh
the book coming to fruition. So I appreciate all of you.
man. But this is the thing. We we are only pouring back into you what you've already poured into us.
Thank you.
So, oh yeah. No, there's no need to thank me. We're doing this together as a collective. So this is really the power of community, the power of family, and that's what we become in such a
Mhm.
short time. You know, how many times have I showed up to the show with the hoarse voice? Like I've been
With that
to
Wolfman Jack, you sound
like,
like like
yeah,
I'm like,
I'm coming
Jay, are
here
you
to try.
okay?
See, and if I didn't go an octave lower like that, I wouldn't even be able to talk. That's the truth of
Mhm.
it.
Right.
And I've all and again, it's that fam collective love tap to the throat. Um, why are you here? You need to go back into bed. You
Well,
need to,
take care of yourself, sir.
yeah. And so that's the thing. This is what we do. This is how we do. And like they
Mhm.
say, I know it's grammatically incorrect, but really that's how we do. And it's not just a show, it really is family and it is the power of the collective. Um I want to go back to, I know I took a detour, but I want to say this, and it's not mine, but boy, did Les Brown hit it right on the head. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started
To
to
be
be
great.
great. Mm,
Yes, sir.
shoot. And you and the thing is, you not only started it, you finished it. And that's the example that you gave me. So before I leave,
You
I
gonna
want
hit
to
us with
make
our verse?
yeah, let's do Proverbs chapter 16. And it's gonna be a long one, verse 1 through 9. Verses 1 through
Okay.
9. And it's the intentions of the heart belong to a man, but the answer of the tongue comes from the Lord. All a
Mm.
person's ways seem right in his own opinion, but the Lord evaluates the motives. Commit your works to the Lord, and your plans will be established. Intentionality, it it's all good and well, but you got to have that faith. But really what the verse is saying is intentionality is important, and it really the verse emphasizes how important it is to acknowledge God's presence in the midst of human intentions. You have to evaluate your motives based on that divine wisdom that's out there and in trusting God's plans for the establishment of success. It really is the heart of true intentionality, and that involves aligning your desires and actions with your faith
Mm.
and seeking your faith and that vertical connection, right? His guidance in all your endeavors. Faith and intentionality is going to propel you beyond even what you perceive as your goal. So, all of what we were talking about
Mhm.
comes together in that one, well, several verses from Proverbs. Intentionality and faith and putting all of that together will propel you. And when everybody talks about 10x,
Mhm.
this is 100x if you put it down. So, thank you, Cassandra, always.
Thank you, Jay, and thank you for that summary. That that those verses did summarize all the conversation that we've had to this point so well. We've got quite a few comments that have come in, so let me recognize those. Barbara Garcia says, I love listening to you all. We love having you here. Barbara Kim says, happy hump day. Gregory says, as an INFJ and a Virgo, I set high standards that I hold myself and others to. Over the years, I've matured my relationship and understanding with this to now view them as ideals to aim towards, no longer binary measures of success or fulfillment. I love that. I love that. And one of the things that I, in my maturity, that I didn't have in a good portion of my life, was the ability to create space between me, the person, and the things that I'm doing. The things that I do, be them good, bad, or indifferent, are separate from me, the person. I had to learn that me at my core was good enough. It wasn't the grades, it wasn't a particular accomplishment, it wasn't the career. Those external things, when they become the binary measure of success and fulfillment, then you can lose what really matters in all of that. And that's you and your relationships and the people that are important to you. If all that external stuff is your only measure, is where your pride comes from, your good feelings, your knowing that you're okay is defined by those things, then the opposite is true as well. When those things aren't there, now all of a sudden you're not okay. You're devalued. You have devalued yourself. If I lose the job, I'm still the same Cassandra. If I lose the house, I'm still me, right? So as long as I don't lose my values, as long as I don't lose the core of who I am still me, with or without the trappings. All those things were the measure as a young person. It was the grades as a kid, right? It was the cheer of the crowd on a Friday night when we were cheering. It was the compliments from somebody. Those things are all wonderful. And I hope you have a life that's full of external support and rah rah. But I hope more sincerely that you can do that for you, that the rah rah is the fact that you're there, that you love yourself enough, and that you stand tall in your value without those things, because I don't want you to crumble when they don't show up. So the real spirit of who you are is what really matters. And when you're blessed enough to have the trappings and all the niceties to enhance that spirit, to enhance your experience, the experience of that spirit, that's great. But it's not the measure of your success or of your fulfillment, or at least it shouldn't be, because it sure does create a topsy-turvy existence. When you're depending on those external things, you are at the mercy of those people and those things. And your life and how it goes and how you feel is all measured externally. You have no control over your own life. And that's not the life you want to live. You are way too important, way too valuable for that. So, Gregory, man, what a great quote. Spot on. Love, love, love how you sum that up. Kim says, you guys help me more than you can ever know. So grateful for you all. Well, we appreciate that, Kim. That feedback helps us to know that we're on track, helps us to keep going. The fact that you show up regularly, we appreciate it so much. Cleo Michael, set yourself free life coaching. She says, good morning to everyone. I love the name of your business, Cleo. Every time I see it, it makes me smile, because isn't that what it's all about? Don't we want to be free from the trappings of life, the traumas that we've experienced, the things that are going on in our head that's standing between us and the life that we desire? We want to get free of those things. So love the name of your business. Cynthia, oh man, Cynthia, 2 days in a row, no bling bling. I failed at my plan. I forgot. She says, good morning, fam. Intentional. This is a powerful quote. Vanessa says, great quote, Cassandra. I'm sorry, great session, Cassandra. I enjoyed it. I have to drop for a call. So glad that she was able to be with us. And Bob says, a goal without a plan is just a wish. Where focus goes, energy flows. If you chase two rabbits, you will not catch either one. Oh, I love that. The shortest way to do many things is to do only one thing at a time. Stay focused, go after your dreams, and keep moving towards your goals. He who chases two rabbits catches neither. A focused mind is a powerful tool. The key to success is to focus on goals, not obstacles. The more you focus, the more you accomplish. Focus on the step in front of you. All sorts of wisdom, great quotes. Bob, I don't think I've seen you with us before as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for sharing so many wonderful thoughts there. We appreciate it. There's a couple of other folks I want to acknowledge. I see my cousin Jackie is watching. LaK0420 is watching as well. Thank you for being with us. Brian, I hope you are ready and primed to share with us, and technology is going to let your brilliance shine through. Can you unmute and tell us what your thoughts are for today? Implementing your intentions.
You have said so much this morning. Listening to you and Jay and all of the comments from the audience, I always love coming in here because it gets my brain going early in the morning. And believe it or not, that's extremely important. Like you got to get yourself in line, and this show helps do that. So thanks for
You
always
are
doing that.
very welcome. You are very welcome, and thank you for contributing to that as well.
Oh, thank you. So grand rising, everyone. It's a great Wednesday. Beautiful day outside. Another beautiful day on this side of the grass. Blessed to be here. Blessed to share. Blessed to keep moving. One thing stood out to me this morning. We were talking about drifting. I heard the word drift.
Mm,
I didn't. Now nobody said drift, but I heard drift. I heard drift because I heard you say something about intentionality, and I
mm.
heard you say something about. Let me see if I can get it right. Man, I had it all together, and then I pulled back up at the house, and I'm thinking she's gonna say, "Hey, are you ready?" As soon as I pull up at the house, and sure enough, that's when it happened. So uh, let's talk about drifting.
Okay.
Let's talk about intentionality, and let's talk about how the opposition can use your intentionality against you, right?
Mm,
When you think about your life, everybody always talks about the good side. Everybody always talks about the power of God. Everybody always talks about, what God can do for you and how you need to do this and how you need to do that. Nobody ever
mhm,
talks about their adversary, their opposition, right? One of my favorite books is The Art of War. And The Art of
mm,
War explicitly talks about knowing your enemy like you know yourself, right? But the way we were brought up, we weren't brought up to learn the opposition, to learn who the adversary is, right? We were always brought up to run from it. Don't get to know it. But it is an impossibility to fight something that you can't see, that you don't even know exists, that you don't know how it moves or operates, right? So when you think about being a drifter and a non-drifter, yeah, see that's why I admire Satan, right? Because he may detour, but he never ever drifts. Every single thing that the opposition does is planned out, and it's planned out in all honesty according to your lack of knowledge, because you don't know the devil, because you don't know your opposition, and these are just terms, right? These are just words. Because you don't know your adversary, you will always lose because you don't know what the method of attack is. And you will think, hey, I'm doing this intentionally. I got this going. I'm doing good at this. And the whole time it'll be working against you, right? And you
mhm,
won't see it until you have that accountability partner that comes in and says, hey, I see what you're doing. That's, you screwing yourself up. You're doing this, you're doing that. You've got to focus on not just what you want to happen, but what you don't want to happen so that you can prepare because it's coming. All of those things that people talk about, oh, I don't want to see this and I don't want to see that. You don't have to focus on it, but you should be prepared for it. You should always be
mm.
prepared for the unexpected. And the only way you can do that is by knowing what the unexpected is. The unexpected is on a hunt. It comes to rob, steal, kill, destroy, take everything that you have. And because we've been taught, no, don't, just focus on the good. Focus on the good, but know the bad.
That's good
True
stuff.
sign of a non-drifter. Yeah, true sign of a non-drifter.
When as you were talking about that, you know about the six C's because you're kind of into all the different things that I've developed. We won't talk about the six C's and what they are right now, but one of them is conquer. And in the conquer phase, I talk about understanding that obstacles are going to come. Understand that the distractions are going to show up. Understand that things that are designed to trip you up are going to come. And it's your commitment to being prepared to overcome them, to conquer them, that will keep you moving forward on your journey. So you kind of jumped right into one of the C's with that share today, Brian.
And I can't help it, right? Because I'm focused on learning what it is you have to teach, right? Again, we have been so indoctrinated into this way of thinking that we miss out on all of these golden opportunities. Oh, well, I'm a know it all. Oh, well, I don't have to do this. Oh, I don't have to do that. Man, screw all of that. You got to catch your blessings where they come. Seriously, you have to catch your blessings where they come. I know you're a blessing. I know Jay's a blessing. I know Denise is a blessing. And I respect it. I listen to it. I focus on it. And because that's what it is, that's how my life has started to evolve into these things that I'm learning now. Right. And it's the same thing when you focus on, okay, uh, I need to learn what I should be avoiding also. Right. You don't have to focus on the bad, but you should know that it's there so that you can avoid it. That's conquering. I love it. I love it, Cassandra. I'm not gonna
Great
jump
stuff.
on it today. I'm not gonna
I,
jump on
Go
it
I
ahead,
today.
Jay.
yeah, I'm gonna jump on it. It's the whole thing about the the thing that we do here on the Cassandra Terry Morning Show and the example that Cassandra sets. It's not that we're avoiding the adversity. It's not that we're avoiding the realities. What we're doing is focusing on a mindset of positivity so that even in the midst of our adversity, even in the midst of that struggle, we can power through because we're in the right mindset.
Right.
It's not that we're avoiding the
Or
negativity.
pretending.
We're
Hmm.
not pretending. That's not pretending. What we're doing is we're setting ourselves up for that success when it comes. Because, yeah, we're going through it. Yes, we're struggling. Yes, there's this wall in front of us, but we're not defined by our adversities. We're not defined by our struggles. We're defined by how we work through them. And if we don't
There
have
you
the
go.
right mindset for it, if we're not positive about what we want to accomplish, we're going to stay stuck in that
Hmm.
adversity. We're going to stay stuck in that struggle. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be stuck in any of that gunk or mess. I need to get
That's
out.
why we move through. We move through our storms.
Right.
We don't get stuck in them.
And pacing is important because maybe it's that season where we need to be still and learn from
Exactly.
what's happening
Exactly.
around us and what's happening to us so that we can then come through it on the other end and help others as they go through their adversities and their struggles. I said this to a friend of mine and a mentee of mine, and he hated it. I said, when you come out of this, you're going to have a story to tell. And that
Hmm.
young man, that boy that you're raising is going to benefit from it. So take that under consideration when you feel like the world is crushing you. Imagine when you come out from underneath that and what you can say to your son when you look him in the eye and you say, "Yeah, I've been through it, son, but let me tell you what I did to get through it."
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'm on that soapbox today because I felt called out.
Hey, Lisa. Lisa says, "Good morning, fam five. Happy that I was able to tune in this morning. I need this to refocus my efforts. Blessings to you all." And that's the real blessing. And at any point in time, we can make a different choice. We can refocus. We can find our way back on the trail that we were blazing. If you took a detour, you took a detour. I'm sure that there's something you gathered along the way that's going to help you in your journey. So don't beat yourself up. Just refocus and get right back in the game. Because the truth of the matter is, you never really left it. You never really left it. You're being paced. There was something you needed to learn. And I never covered the fourth P, which is the magical P of them all, and that's propel. You prune, you get rid of the stuff that doesn't serve you. You prepare by refilling, restocking with the new skills, the new ways of thinking, the new environment, whatever it is that you need to prepare you for what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And then you're paced. And that gives you the opportunity to integrate the things that you've learned into your life so that it's not just a quick fix. I'm not going to just drink water today. I'm going to start drinking water every day. You think about it that way. And then I see my skin improve, my energy improves, my gastrointestinal system feels better, right? But it takes time. That one glass isn't going to do it. You have to integrate it, and that becomes your new default. It becomes the new way of living so that you can be propelled. You see the weight loss, you see the tight muscles, you see your dreams being accomplished, the things that you've worked for, those choices that you've made every single day as you were being paced, they become your new normal, and then you propel into the next. People call it that level up. I call it the next. Whatever is next for you, that is going to all those things that you've done in those first three P's prepare you to be propelled into that next space to do the things that you are wanting to do so badly, the things that you were designed to do. Conchita says, "I agree, Kim. This audio room starts my day. Grateful for the positive dialogue." Bob says, "Energy flows where attention goes." That's right. Two people can have the exact same experience, but depending on what you're focused on will determine how you experience that situation. I see it all the time. Energy flows where your attention goes. And if you're putting all your attention into the problem, you're putting none of it into solutioning, into being creative, into figuring out how to move through. You're just stuck in the issues and the emotions that come with that. And that will bog you down and keep you stuck. Energy flows where attention goes. Conchita said, "Brian, that's powerful. Focus on the good, but know the bad. Expect the unexpected because it's inevitable. So be prepared." Bob reiterated, prune, prepare, pace, propel. Conchita said, "Brian actually said, screw all that, LOL." Yes, he did. And it just slid right on out. So we just let it go. But he said it like he meant it, right? Greg says, "Failure is part of scientific method. Observe, document, analyze, adjust, attempt again." When we shift from internalizing failure as an emotion and utilize it as a neutral observer, we can learn and grow from it. And that's exactly what the positive mindset is all about. He's coming at it from the scientific method point of view. Absolutely. A positive mindset, a growth mindset says that failure is but an opportunity to learn. You learn from the experience. You see how things unfolded differently than what you expected. You take that data in, you adjust, you move forward more informed than you were before because you have the learning of that experience. Absolutely. Absolutely. Great, great, great stuff today. Greg
I'm not.
Spiller, interesting point. Sometimes failure is the objective. There you go. There you go.
I-
Interesting stuff, guys. Thank y'all so much. Were you going to say something, Jay?
Yeah. It does everybody know BANT? BANT, budget, authority, need, and timing.
Mm,
And and so, if you're thinking about it in terms of marketing or anything like that, you got to figure out what your budget is, what their budget is, right? What the client's budget is, what the
hmm
authority, who's the authority behind that,
Yeah, who can really make the decision?
right? And the need. Do they really have a need, or are we just going after them for just trying to make the numbers? And then
Right.
timing. So when you were going through it, I was thinking about Bant this whole time. The going through the four P's. I'm like, I've heard this somewhere before, but in a different way. And
hmm
so, but you take it to another level. But this is what I'm talking about when we talk about budget. Do you have what it takes to invest your time and your money in this endeavor? Can you do this, right? This is something that you have to think about. That's when it comes to intentionality. The authority, you have the authority. You have that authority to set your intention. The need, I have a need to change. Am I going to be able to change? And am I going to put a qualifier, a time on when this change should occur? Right, that's the timing. So BANT. And if you are a marketing person or ever had to sell anything, you might know this. And so if you haven't put the P's together in your mind, maybe BANT can go along with the P's and you'll
Mm,
know exactly what to do.
that's good. That's good, Jay. So I have one thing to share with you guys before we wrap it up. We've been at it for a bit, so we are definitely coming to an end. But I did want to share what came in the mail yesterday. I'm so excited. There she is. There's my baby. That's the book that we have been talking about. It's Soar Beyond Limits, Unleashing the Power Within. There it is. It's hard to see. Let me see if I can. There we go. Hard to see with the green screen, but it looks just like the background. And I am so pleased. I got my proof of it yesterday, so I've got the opportunity to see what it's going to look like for real on the 25th, and still gives me time to make a few adjustments if need be. But it's real, y'all. It is in my hand, and I am so excited. And I really believe that getting it in your hand, it will be a tool that will help you take all the things that we talk about day in, day out, week in, week out, and give you the framework and the space to really dig deep into those concepts and take them from being concepts to implementing them in your life. The We're taking pre-orders right now for the digital version for only $2.99, $2.99 US, 80% discount. So you can go to Amazon, look me up by name, Cassandra Terry, and you can pre-order the digital download, and it, as well as the soft and hard copy, are going to be available on March the 25th. So 13 days from the day it's going to drop. It got off to a great start, guys. I am so blessed. So far, I think 88 of you have downloaded it, and it had enough activity the first day that it was available for download to make it the number one um, new release in business coaching and mentoring. So I'm so grateful for that. But that's just the start. That is just the start. I want to see this thing in the hands of as many people as possible because I believe in it that much. It's not a vanity thing on this one. I believe that it's taking all the things that I've experienced and all the things that I believe are helpful in us creating the life that we desire and distilling it down into about 120, 125 pages that you can take your time and work through. You can pace yourself through and integrate the things that resonate with you into your life. And there's a workbook that's going to accompany it, so you can take your notes, you can do the exercises, you have space for reflection and all of that, and it becomes a tool that stays with you. It's not that one time read like a good romance novel and then you put it down for the next one. It's a workbook, it's a textbook. It is helping you to get the things out of everything that I say isn't for everybody, right? But there's something in here for you. And you find those nuggets and implement those into your life, even if it's just one thing. If you do one thing different and you consistently do that one thing differently, your life will be different. Nothing will change until something changes. And I'm here to help you through that process. And I look forward to hearing your feedback as you guys get the book, read it, give me your feedback, do all the things, because it's just like having the new baby in the house. It's exciting, it's nerve-wracking, you don't get enough sleep, it's going through that process all over again. But more than anything, I'm grateful, I'm excited, I'm blessed. And Bob, you're right, 2024 is the year to soar. You guys see I want to soar.com scrolling at the bottom there. You can go to that website, I want to soar.com. The SOAR assessment is there. It has a few questions for you to answer, and it will actually give you feedback. It's something that I worked on earlier this year that will allow you to assess where you are on the SOAR journey. SOAR is strengths, identifying your strengths. O, overcoming limits. A, achieving goals. And the R, building that resilient mindset. And there are chapters devoted to each part of the SOAR process, how the 4 Ps integrate into all of that. It is a full framework with actionable steps that you can take in each of those areas to get unstuck, to get clear about what you want, and to actually build the plan. It does everything but the implementation. It does everything but what we're talking about today, implementing your intentions. That's on you. But I can help you get that plan built, and then you get busy one step at a time, one choice at a time, implementing that plan, and watch your life unfold in the ways that you so desire. So that's it for today, guys. Tomorrow is Thankful Thursday, so we will be back at 7:15 a.m. Central. So start thinking about it now. What am I thankful for? Think about it throughout your day. Think about it when you go to bed tonight, and be ready to come and leave the comments. We'll start our gratitude train all over social media, and we're going to put some light into a space that's often dark by focusing on what we are thankful for tomorrow. So I am so thankful for each and every one of you guys. I am glad that you stuck in with us. Today was a long one. Go out to Amazon, grab the book, and on the 25th, let's start talking about it. What did you get from it? What would you like to see in the next version? Because this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning, but it's a good beginning, and I can't wait to hear how it's impacting your life. So that's it for today. I'm excited.
Thank you for joining us today. Make sure you join us every week, Tuesday through Friday, 7:15 a.m. Central Time for the Cassandra Terry Morning Show.
Then this music just makes you want to rock your
advertising
head.
or sponsorship questions, reach out to Cassandra or any member of the FAM Collective on their LinkedIn profiles. Have a great day, everyone.